The implant industry today is a shit show. That's probably the best way to put it. I absolutely hate the fact that when I get somebody that comes here that implant placed somewhere else, you have to literally hire a private investigator to find out who placed it, what brand it is, what size platform. The fact that every implant company has their own little system and none of them are compatible with each other is the most frustrating thing. And I'll be honest, for a good portion of my career, I even shied away from restoring implants for this exact reason. Just trying to locate, find the right parts and every implant company has different impression copings, and it's very confusing. It's very confusing. And if you walk into any dental office that restores a lot of implants or place a lot of implants, you will find parts galore. And nobody even really knows where any of the parts go to. It's kind of crazy, actually, and frustrating. You know, I understand why implant companies don't share their tech with other implant companies, but as a user and a restorer of implants, it's extremely frustrating. Placing implants themselves is really not that hard to do. It's just having the knowledge of knowing what you're doing. I mean, you drill a hole and you put a screw in it. It's really not that hard. You just need to know where to drill the hole and how to drill the hole. But implants, I think, are easy and simple once you get the hang of it. But the implant industry as a whole is complex and confusing for the reasons that I stated earlier. It's just there's too many different parts, too many moving parts to it. It's very intimidating, actually, and unless you've had some really good training in implants, it can be very intimidating, especially when you're trying to restore a system that you're not familiar with. My experience with Implant Club has been very positive from the very get-go. I was introduced to it through my associate doctor, and I watched him place one, and I kind of rolled my eyes because I saw how simple it was, and then I started placing them literally immediately after that. And I think the learning curve with Implant Club is very small. I think you can become proficient with this system in a very short period of time. Honestly, after placing one, I felt like I knew what I was doing. And it actually, the simplicity of this system is actually what gave me the confidence to start getting involved in doing implants again. The actual steps in placing the implant are very, very straightforward. It's very easy to do and it's very quick. And there's not a ton of different parts when it comes to Implant Club. Like all their abutments and impression copings are all universal with each other. It actually makes it quite simple. But the actual placement of the implant from incision to final suture is usually in about 15 minutes. It's a very, very straightforward system. Implant Club has made things a lot simpler for me, just because there's so few steps involved. And it's the same thing every time, and it's really easy to get proficient at it fairly quickly. I think I've only had maybe 2 or 3 that have failed, and I've placed hundreds by now. My conclusion is the bone I was putting in wasn't good, or I didn't put it in the right spot, or there was infection that hadn't cleared up yet. But that had nothing to do with the system itself. The implants, they integrate well, and I've had a lot of success with very good integration with them. Our recare and x-rays are showing that they're looking pretty darn amazing. I haven't really seen signs of bone loss with any of them. You know, for somebody like myself, who I'm not an oral surgeon, though I do a lot of surgery, and a general dentist that wants to get into placing implants, the learning curve is so small that becoming a part of Implant Club is really the place to be. They're well priced, they're high quality implants, the system is very easy, and I will tell you that Implant Club backs up their product. They've actually replaced the implants that failed, even though it wasn't their fault. I mean, that's how good Implant Club is. Sometimes you just got to have a little faith and go for it. And it's not like these implants haven't been being used. They've been being placed by Dr. Ivan here for over 8 years. Just in our office, we've been placing them for 4 years and have found a lot of success. They integrate well, but I think a lot of the success in implants are how well are they placed. You know, because I think when implants fail, it's usually operator error. And when you have a system that's as simple as this one, I think it reduces the operator error. The membership cost is a very low price to pay to have access to a high quality, well-priced, very simple system like Implant Club. I wasn't placing implants prior to Implant Club. I was still kind of in that intimidated phase. And then after being introduced to the system, and saw how not intimidating it could be. It's changed my life because I'm placing implants regularly now and confidently, which is something I wasn't doing just a few years back. So.